What does it take to get ahead in corporate America? Sometimes you have to bend the truth a little. Like when you write an anonymous letter revealing the fact that the company is ripping off the government, and a lot of people lose their jobs over it.
God, Jim is such an asshole. He walks around like he owns the place.
Gosh, he doesn't quit. And they ask you if you wrote the letter, and you say, hell no, but it's a damn lie. And every time you think about that letter, your stomach turns. And you wonder if you're going to need an attorney, because they could take the DNA sample off the envelope you licked and have you nailed 3 ways to Sunday. But we'll focus on Jim and talk about the letter later. It wasn't like Jim was such a bad guy. He was actually pretty likable, even though it seemed he went out of his way to make people uncomfortable. You see, Jim was a real simple guy. He really wasn't cut out to be upper management. He once told me about a lie on his resume that got him promoted twice. From then on, he would freak out every time he saw his personal file out on someone's desk. He lied big time for the VP job, and then he would bring in technology magazines and show me articles like he actually knew anything about technology. And you know what? He lied about his job and spent most of his time sitting around not knowing what the hell the server room guys even do.
Have you men heard anything about version 6?
We're already on version 6, Jim. You don't have a clue what we're doing here, do you? Just stick with what you know.
Things started to go downhill pretty fast. Jim was beginning to tell bigger lies, and everyone was beginning to figure him out.
This is what I suggested to Jamie a week ago. I'm sure it's going to be more cost effective in the long run. If we migrate IPv6 now instead of waiting, as I pointed out to Jamie, we won't have to worry about the subnet security.
Jim, this is just wrong. I'm sorry, Gwen, but I just spent the whole last week researching this architecture. It all started with your request to look for better software for virtual meetings.
Jamie, I think we've heard enough. I know what you came up with, and I gave you specific instructions. If you can't maintain proper professional decorum in a meeting, then I'm just going to have to ask you to go back to work. Okay?
Once you knife your own crew in the back, your days are numbered. You never know where it will come from, but come it will. I know enough about life to know when not to burn your bridges. Jim never went back into the server room. He knew better. News of this incident would spread fast. I knew my paychecks were on those servers, so I spent some time calming the server room guys.
Hey guys,
Hey,
I just got an email from Jim from a few minutes ago. How dare you sabotage me in a meeting? Unlike you, I am moving up, not out. You will never have this opportunity again. Systems and procedures will be put into place to filter out your cancerous anger. I suggest starting a professional job search now. What a douchebag.
Jim sent me a copy as well and wrote, and this goes for you too. This is when you start to think, Jim is not only an incompetent moron, he's also an asshole, and I might be out of a job for nothing. This is when you take matters into your own hands.
So we use words that Jamie uses a lot, like the phrase systems we are implementing and of a classified nature. So when read aloud, one might be confused as to who really wrote the letter and One might even think Jamie wrote it. Well, certainly not you.
Mm.
But our objective was to unveil Jim as a fraud, right?
Right. But neither one of us needs to get in trouble for it. Oh. Can I help you?
We have an appointment with Jim Pickens. We're from the DOD and we need to audit some log files.
Okay, what did they say at the front desk?
Well, they pointed him out to us, but when we approached, he disappeared out that door.
Is there no one in there? Come on through.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'll look into this.
Here you go. How can I help?
Well, I know how to get into the file. I just don't have the administrative code. Oh, you guys are out to lunch or something. I was hoping Jim Pickens would be here to log me in.
I can try and log you in.
Okay.
I sat down at the main server and typed the word administrator in, and then looked around me and found a small black notebook. I flipped through the pages like I had seen the guys do. I picked a password and it worked. I was sweating out my ass, but the black suit just smiled and motioned me to move. Since I was a little kid, I knew God loved me. He inspires me at just the right time.
I don't think that's what we're looking for. Maybe flip over a couple more pages. Oh yeah, that's 427B.
That's it. Let's go back.
Okay, that's it. You got it right there.
Good.
Yeah.
You keep this to yourself.
Yes, of course.
Kate, do you know anything about this letter that was sent to the Department of Defense? Something about an email that Jim sent? Do you know anything about it?
No, ma'am. I'm less and less aware of what Jim does. Ever since he took on the role of vice president, he seems to need more distance from those of us who used to share with him more openly in the past. I respect this, and I give him his space.
This is really a serious problem. We could lose the money that we get for our research because of this. And so what I want you to do is I want you to stay away from him. I don't want you talking to Jim. He knows there's an investigation going on. I want him to sweat a little. If anything comes up, would you please confide in me? Do you understand?
Absolutely.
Good.
Sorry this all happened, Gwen.
Me too.
The part about the email was all true. I found it on Jim's desk. I just had no idea how serious it would be. Between the smoking and the lying to get ahead, the stress did him in. That's why he died. Lying does that.
Guys, you might want to come out here.
Do you think he's dead?
God, I know he was a jerk, but he didn't deserve to die like that.
He didn't move. What should we do? Should we throw him in the dumpster or something?
Dude, what? Really?
Well, just saying. We all hated him.
Yeah, but I think that's illegal or something.
Yeah, probably. We should probably call the cops.
I think it's too late for mouth to mouth.
Let's call 911.
president would like to see you now.
Jamie, have a seat. Jamie, I know things got a little rough the other day in the conference room, and I'm wondering if maybe out of a moment of panic that you did something that you later regretted, something serious enough that could affect the employment of everybody in this company. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
No, Gwen, I don't. I just walked out of the meeting and went back to my office. I know it's better to move on than fight, especially with Jim.
Well, that was certainly true when we were younger, but we both learned that in time we had to fight for our careers. And I've got a big problem here. All of the correspondence that goes to this company, it goes to my secretary. So I showed her a letter that had been sent to the Department of Defense. You know what she said? She instantly looked at it and said your name. She recognized your style. How can that be?
I have no idea. What are you even talking about? I didn't write any letter to the Department of Defense.
You know Jim is dead, don't you?
Yes, I was there.
Well, Jamie, this is really a serious matter. And what I'm going to have to do is put you on half-pay leave of absence. Now, you may hear from me, but you might also hear from the police. Because if we decide that fraud's been committed, we'll have to involve them and there'll be an investigation. Don't you have anything you want to say to me? Even something just to lighten the emotional load?
No, Gwen, other than I hope you catch whoever did this, because I really love working here. And I did not do this. I can't believe this is even happening. And that you would buy into this.
You called for me again, Gwen?
Yes, I did, Kate. The auditors stopped by and they told me that you really helped them get the information that they needed.
Oh, good.
And I want to thank you for that.
Sure.
It seems as though Jim didn't compromise as much data as we thought. In fact, the crisis isn't as bad as I thought.
Good.
Mainly squabbling and backstabbing. Now, you know that Jim is dead.
Yes.
And if you want to go to his funeral, you can. I'm going to stay here. I've got to get started on my technical initiatives.
Is there a problem, Gwen?
There is a problem. It looks like I'm going to have to fire Jamie. That's a tough one. She's been with us right from the beginning, and I'm really going to miss her.
Sure.
But I do have another problem. I need a new vice president of information technology. Do you want the job?
Me? Sure. I would take the job.